I'd like to remind you that I'm not your financial advisor and this is not financial advice. My YouTube channel is for entertainment purposes only and to document my journey in the crypto space. I encourage you to pause the video at this time to read the full disclaimer. And now let's get on with the show. Okay guys, welcome back to the Crypto Wave. Gonna do a video on something that I've been meaning to do for a very long time, and it's something that I've actually been in for a very long time, and that's mining. So if you guys, before I started my YouTube channel, I was actually in Bitcoin a long time ago, and actually had miners in my home and in my closets, and I was running cables, and it was noisy, and I mean, you name it, I was doing it. My electric bill was going through the roof, but I was mining pretty dang effectively. But it started getting overwhelming. If nobody knows about mining, which we'll go into in a little bit, the maintenance and the amount of effort that put into it sometimes really wasn't worth it. So I ended up moving my mining operations, or my mining enthusiasm, to cloud mining, which what this video, excuse me, what this video is going to be about actually is a cloud mining service that I've actually been using for the last 5 years. It's called OxBTC or OxBTC. So what is OxBTC? It is a cloud mining platform that has been ongoing for the last 5 years. And if you don't know much about mining, that's actually pretty effective, because most mining farms have shut down as the price of Bitcoin goes down and the cost of mining Bitcoin exceeds the amount that it's generating, if that makes sense. So as the price of Bitcoin drops, you don't get as much Bitcoin mined, and you can't then sell that to pay for your electricity and pay for various other things. Well, with OxBTC, they've actually been around for 5 years, and although the mining has paused a couple of times, they've always paid me out regularly. They've never left. They're very stable. They're huge. So a little bit about them, and I'm just going to kind of go through the website to introduce you here a little bit. But they are indeed, they were founded in 2014. I joined them shortly after that. They've been stable for the last 5 years. In fact, they're celebrating their 5th anniversary now, so there's all kinds of deals and discounts if you want to get involved on this. They do have over 600,000 users. That's actually over 700,000 users now, and they've paid out more than, this says 29,000 Bitcoin. It's actually more than 30,000 Bitcoin now at this point. And I can safely say that I personally have had steady payouts from them since day one. So they have 8 mining farms. They're all over the world, including the United States, Mongolia, China, and a lot of times that's how they get their cheap mining power and such, is simply because there are certain areas of the country that get hydropower or something of that nature. So sometimes they'll freeze your mining while they move their mining farm to an area that's going to get hydropower, thus driving down the electricity costs and putting it back into profit again. So once again, they have been around for about 5 years. As I said, they've actually paid out 30,000 BTC. Safely operating, they have now 744,000 users. Stable mining profits, again, I've been with them since 2014, beginning of 2015, and I completely agree. As other miners have to shut down because of electricity costs and various other things, they've actually been consistent, and they actually usually have the most state-of-the-art mining equipment that gets you the biggest bang for your buck and biggest return. So they're constantly updating the inventory on products that you can purchase in order to mine. So that is them kind of in a nutshell. Again, I'm going to put links in the video here, but let's go into a little bit more about what is crypto mining as well as what is cloud mining. Okay guys, so what is cloud mining? So anybody who's new to crypto, or even those that are veterans, the premise of Bitcoin specifically, and many other coins after them, was what they call a mining profit, which in essence is, in order to keep it decentralized, there are a series of, initially when Bitcoin first started, it was everybody could sign on and log onto the network with their computer. Their computer would help figure out an algorithm. That algorithm would then add transactions and information to the block. If the block was figured out by your computer, a reward was given to the network in the form of Bitcoin, and thus keeping it decentralized and rewarding those who are mining and helping the network itself. In essence, to sum that up, those coins that use mining, the mining machines and the companies that do the mining, or the individuals that do the mining, are the backbone of that particular coin. For instance, Bitcoin. Bitcoin, to my personal opinion, is and always will be a mined coin. It will always have a network of computers and a network of mining machines or computer chips that are consistently verifying the transactions and updating the blockchain accordingly. So because of that, that's why I usually put money into my crypto mining any chance I get, because I'm a firm believer that Bitcoin is going to be around for a long time. I'm also a firm believer that Bitcoin is going to hit astronomical levels that we have not seen before. So it's almost like, can you invest in the internet when the internet came out? Well, you could, because technically you needed to invest in the backbone and the products that made it go. So you could have invested in the cable, you could have invested in the company that made the routers, you could have invested in the company that was providing the service to people. And that's how I see this. If I'm putting money into the network that is the backbone of Bitcoin, I feel like that's going to be a win-win situation, and ultimately I'll be coming out on top. So the tricky part with Bitcoin is people, and some people still do if you have really cheap energy, is it's got too expensive. And honestly, in my case, it was too expensive and just so much of a hassle to maintain the equipment in order to keep it connected to the network, in order to achieve those rewards, in order to, the rewards, 80% of my rewards was going to my electricity bill. And so what ended up happening is, through the natural progression of things, a bunch of companies started springing up all over the world that do what they call cloud mining. In essence, they have gigantic mining farms, and those mining farms, in essence, are just stacked wall to wall with machines that continuously mine on the Bitcoin network, and you can actually purchase those mining machines from these people. They will maintain the machines, they will provide electricity, they will provide the cooling, they will do everything that they need to do. And so they take out a small fee, quote unquote, a management fee, an electricity fee, and then you get the rewards from that. So that's kind of a nutshell in regards to crypto mining and its quick evolution, as well as its importance to the Bitcoin blockchain and where cloud mining comes in. This particular site, now there's a couple of them, you guys have probably heard of Genesis, there's this one here, and there's a couple others that are really big, but this one, in my case, the OxBTC, has been the most reliable for me. So let's dig into my account, and that way I can kind of show you what they offer here. And okay guys, so once you get in, once you're logged in, you can actually go over to the account. There's all kinds of different things that you can mess with here. The first one is your wallets. You want to make sure that you have wallets set up and you know where you're going to be withdrawing to. This is where all your mining product and all of your mining income gets to, where you can then withdraw or deposit. Why would you want to deposit? Well, because on here, if you are indeed going to be purchasing cloud mining, you can actually purchase from your profits, or you can send more Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, or even USDT to buy more cloud services here. Additionally, you can look under all your different contracts, all contracts that you have. So these are mine. I have 0.5 terahash here, 11 terahash of the old Btc S9i, 1 terahash here, 14.2 of the old S9s. Way back when the host 01, this is the gigahash, 507 gigahash there. And these will be all the different mining products that you can actually have here. Additionally, under the account settings, you have all your orders, as well as referrals. So at this point, I will put my referral down below. I actually don't have any referrals just because I haven't been talking a lot about this, but you do get commission, and that commission comes in the form of hash rate as well as Bitcoin. So I don't have any at the moment. If anybody is interested in cloud mining, this would be the site that I would recommend, and be more than generous if you'd be able to click on my link to get into this and kind of go forward. If you have any questions, I love talking about it, and we can have further discussions about it. So that's kind of the general. I won't go to orders. That's pretty self-explanatory. Settings, obviously, the settings where you can change everything. Let's get into the actual cloud mining. So once you're logged in here, you can actually, this is where the purchases come in, and this is where the money is made. Once you're in here, these are all the products that are currently offered that you can purchase. Now, the electricity pack is a pretty good deal, actually. You can actually prepay your electricity. As you look, there's electricity fees on all of these different types of miners that you can do. And so what you can actually do is you can actually prepay your electricity, thus increasing your mining profits as well. Now, this also tells you a guesstimate as to how much you will make depending on how much you purchase, as well as how long these contracts last. Now, my personal contracts, so these ones in particular, I bought a long time ago, so they're actually not mining at the moment. The reason these aren't mining at the moment is because when this company first started, it was a lifetime contract, which means these will always mine for me, no matter what, so long as the profit exceeds the management and electricity fee, and I make a profit, it will then start mining for me again. Now, in this particular company, I believe it is 6 months. So most companies, most mining companies, when you go out there, once they're not profitable, I think it's 30 days, your contract is void. OxBTC, it's a 6-month window. So I basically need, and it doesn't even matter if it's just one little tick right here, and I make 0.0000001 profit, it resets that contract again. So all of my, so this one here, my 11 terahash, as you can see, it's been quite a while because Bitcoin is going down so low. You'll see that it actually hasn't made any profit, but as long as one day of profit in the next 6 months, it will reactivate my entire 11 terahash. So the same thing goes for these other ones here. So same thing goes for my S9 as well as my S9E. But what makes it interesting is the newer ones, it makes you change up your tactics a little bit here. For instance, you can get the new BTC S17, and so what you actually see, it's actually a 5% fee in the electricity fee here, but it's actually only a 3-year contract. So the good news is as you put in, so for instance, you can buy 10 terahash for $372. That's going to give you an average of $1.34 expected daily return. And so what you can actually do to figure that out, so if you figure it's $1.34 times 365 for 1 year times 3 years, that's 1,467. You're paying 372, and this is at the current rate. So this is where a lot of people don't pay attention. That is at the current rate of Bitcoin, which is well below market in my opinion. I think it's about 7,000 right now. So this only exponentially goes up as the price of Bitcoin. So same thing goes here. You can get this new one here. This is actually their newest product, this BTC PPP. It's a 240-day contract, zero management fee. And here's your electricity fee. Now again, if you buy 10 terahash, that's a $77 purchase for 10 terahash at $1.34 a million. $1.34 times 240 days, that's $321 return on your $77 investment. And again, that is at the current price. Now, should Bitcoin go down to 2,000 or 3,000? Well, then yeah, you may not quite ROI like you want to. But if it goes up as everybody anticipates, whether it goes up in the next 240 days or not, why this doesn't make a difference to me. All that means is because personally, all the Bitcoin that I mine from this site goes towards my wallet and I don't touch it. My goal is to build my Bitcoin stack as big as I can get it so that 5, 6, 7 years from now, when it's hitting those $30, $40, $50, $60,000 marks, I have more Bitcoin in my pocket. So these are all the different contracts. Again, you always want to pay attention with the management fee are, electricity fees, as well as the contract terms. What I typically do with mine because I haven't, these are new products I haven't got into yet. So on my particular product is actually, there's something called a hash market. So let's go into the hash market here and talk about that a little bit. Okay, so the hash market. So currently there's only two products that are available on the hash market right now. What does this mean? So the hash market is people consider it your exchange for the products from the site. Now, anytime there is a device, for instance, this GHS S9, these things are selling like crazy and they're selling cheap. Why? Because they're not making any profit right now. Because Bitcoin is so low, anybody who on this site that has this S9 is not making any profit, because you need to hope that it goes above a particular target price. When it goes above that target price and mining becomes profitable again, well, then all your terahash kicks back in again and you can start making a profit again. So the same thing goes with the Ethereum. So if you want to mine Ethereum, these are the people who are currently own mining or own hash rate on this website that just trying to basically get it, basically trying to sell it. So in this particular case, the S9, what I've usually done is as I make my profit, so currently have 0.005983 available, sometimes I pull it out and put it into my wallet. Sometimes I actually just buy more. Now I'm not going to in this particular case, just simply because it wouldn't be lucrative at this point to purchase this, although it's really, really cheap. I'm going to hold off just a little bit longer, just to kind of see what the market does in the next couple of weeks. But as other products, if for some odd reason, I don't know what the determining factors are when OxBTC puts things onto this hash market, but this is where you can buy and sell. So technically, because this is not profitable, there are people who are trying to buy it. So I technically could sell my 14.2 and get 0.03 Bitcoin right now at this moment. I can sell it off and then go and purchase something different. So I haven't done that yet, but that's kind of the hash market. This comes in handy as more and more products get this sell them. So let's talk about return on investment. Okay, so return on investment is very, very tricky. So here's just an example of some of the withdrawals that I've had to some of my various Bitcoin wallets. And as you can see, so this is actually going all the way back. I mean, you can go back as far as, let's see when the first, let's see. So here's a 2016 withdrawal. Doesn't look like it's going further back than that, but so ROI is a very tricky thing to come to figure out. So they have profit calculators and things on the site to help you try and figure out how much it'll take you to ROI based on the product that you get. So the tricky part is this is all based on this current Bitcoin price. With the Bitcoin price where it's at, this is your return on value. So with the new contract, you get 10 terahash. You'll get, well, these are basically the fees and all that kind of stuff. And this is be kind of what you're anticipated to earn with those particular products. But in my opinion, again, I'm very much long term. ROI is all going to be based on how much you're putting in, how much you're mining, what is this price of Bitcoin. As the price of Bitcoin changes, especially if it goes up, your return on investment goes up exponentially. Nobody will be able to tell you exactly when you're going to ROI or not. Nobody will be able to, simply because nobody can tell you what this Bitcoin price is going to do. Now, I've seen some people in the Telegram talking about this particular site. You can go into the Telegram at any point, and the administrators are very, very friendly, very helpful. And I hear all these people keep saying, I'm not ROIing, and it's too little. Well, if you imagine, if you come over here and you buy, let's say, half a terahash for 20 bucks, well, that's an expected daily return of 7 cents a day. I don't know, I mean, how much is that a month? Let's figure that out. 7 times 30 days. It's $2.10 a day. Of course it's going to take you forever That's the nature of the beast. You're gonna get back the same amount whether you put in, let's say you put in five, you're getting 67 cents a day for $106. Well, now you're gonna be getting more back per day. But you need to realize that it's always going to be based on the price of Bitcoin, how much people mostly think about US dollars. I personally think of it as Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin in my wallet because that's my value. If you want US dollars, you can try and figure it out that way as well. But your ROI is going to be more difficult because you're always going to be selling against the um, Bitcoin price, and that is always going to fluctuate. So you're never really going to know when you're actually going to ROI or not. So what can I say to that? This is not financial advice, is make sure you can only purchase what you are willing to, this isn't going to be a get rich quick scheme. This is something that you need to put money into, and this is a 3-year contract term. This has been calculated out to get you profit over a 3-year term, anticipating that during the 3 years, the Bitcoin price will be higher than what it is at the current day. Same thing goes for this, same thing goes for this, same thing goes for this. You have to take that into account. You are willing to invest in your future, as opposed to the majority of crypto, which is really big on the dapps and trading and all that kind of stuff. That's all instant gratification. I'm more of a long-term, I'm the tortoise in this race. I'm going to come out, in my personal opinion, I'm going to come out on top, but I'm not going to be as fun and flashy as the hare who's making very quick gains very short, but then also losing a lot very short. So ROI is a little bit tricky. Fiddle with the math, see what you can afford, see how long you're willing to wait. But with Bitcoin, if you are a true Bitcoin believer like myself, then you will ROI, and this will be beneficial in the long run. Okay, guys, so just some final thoughts. I talked about a lot of different things, and I apologize. It's very late here, so I apologize if it ran on a little bit longer than I anticipated. But my final thoughts are kind of what I just spoke about a moment ago. Um, Bitcoin, if you want to invest in the structure and the backbone that keeps Bitcoin running, and you want a company that is not going anywhere and has its customers in mind and has its customers' best wishes in mind, me personally, I don't think you're going to be able to steer far from OxBTC. They already have a 5-year track record in the crypto market, which is huge. Anybody who's in crypto for a while knows that 5 years is nothing to laugh at, especially in the mining sector. So many mining farms have been shut down because the price of Bitcoin goes down and they just can't afford it anymore. OxBTC has been innovative. They always have the newest features. They always have the newest mining rigs. Their prices are very, very competitive, as well as their electricity fees. With all of their different plants throughout the world, they're able to get various cheap electricity fees. There's a ton of different sales going on right now because of the 5-year anniversary. So if you join the Discord or the Telegram, there's actually some promotions. Let me find where it is. I didn't see it, but there's some promotions. If you go into the Telegram, they'll actually um, give you referral codes that get you like 5% off, 10% off, that kind of thing off these purchases and stuff like that. Because it's a 5-year anniversary. Also, they have these little tasks things here, and you actually earn more. You can earn some free Bitcoin and some free hash rate and stuff like that for doing these tasks. So in closing, if you guys haven't gone into cloud mining and you're interested in cloud mining, if you want to invest in your Bitcoin future, if you have a long-term vision for this crypto journey, I suggest you kind of join me in this. If you do, I would absolutely love a click on my referral link if you decide to get in and purchase some of this mining. I would absolutely appreciate it. And I appreciate you tuning in and checking this out, and we will go from here. I appreciate you guys.